The worst career advice I ever got was also like some of the first advice I got when I was in my early 20s and getting into sports broadcasting. And my male colleagues didn't really know what to do with me. We were all trying to figure out kind of the new norm with women in locker rooms. So the best they could offer was, you know what? Just be quiet and let your work speak for itself. Now, I know where they were coming from. It was the general sentiment back then that, hey, good luck. Women are allowed to be here, but we don't really support or encourage you to be here. So whatever works for the entire group, that's what's going to be best for you too. And at the time, my male counterparts thought that, if I could just be quiet, fly under the radar and make sure that nobody knew that I was there, everybody was going to have an easy time. I'm sure that worked well for them. It did not work well for me. And along the way, I had to figure out a couple of things and offer this advice, which I'm pretty sure is way better than the advice that I got. Number one, you don't need permission to speak up. And number two, your work doesn't speak for itself. Now, I know that you've probably gotten that as well-meaning encouragement from somewhere along the way, as in hard work pays off. And it does. I'm not saying that you shouldn't work hard. What I am pointing out is your results, your numbers, your productivity, that's not the defining thing. You are the difference. And if you allow your work to speak for itself, you're probably just going to get more work. If you only wait to talk about the work that you do during a performance review or when somebody asks you about it, you are missing opportunities every single day. So here's what I want to offer instead. 3 ways to speak up and to advocate for yourself regularly. You ready? Number 1, accept compliments. Seriously. If somebody says great job, you say thank you. You do not deflect. You do not try to shy away from it. You do not try to say it as a team effort. You say thank you. 2 words. When you get comfortable saying thank you, you add on to the sentence. Thank you for noticing I've worked really hard to build that skill set. Or I've worked really hard to streamline that process so that it's easy for everyone. Number 2, try using the words, I excel. So I ran into this, I had to redo a bio for a speaking description, and I was trying to say that I'm really good at giving keynote speeches, and I'm really good at creating content, and I'm excellent at something, and that just felt too inauthentic, and quite honestly, it felt like I was bragging just a little bit. But when I changed the words to I excel, I not only felt confident, but I felt like I was professional and I was stating the truth. I excel at giving engaging keynote presentations. I excel at creating compelling content. That to me, that one little sentence conveys confidence and it highlights the skill set that I'm proud of. It makes it easy and obvious for somebody to have a conversation about it with me. Number 3, I've spoken about this for years. It is a strategy that I developed to make the most of my time when I get conversations with athletes, decision makers, key influencers, all of these sorts of people, and that is a success statement. And a success statement is a 1-sentence response to the question, how are you? All you're going to do is answer the question and tell me something that you are proud of or highlight a success or a recent accomplishment. For example, I'm great after giving an engaging keynote presentation this morning. Or I feel awesome after a brainstorming session with a new client that went better than expected. In both of those cases, I have just drawn a bullseye around what I hope you are going to ask me about. I'm not waiting for you to bring that conversation to the table. I am putting that out there so that we can have a conversation. And even if you don't ask me any other questions, I can feel good knowing that I took that one opportunity to advocate for myself. You know that you are going to get that question, I don't know, half a dozen times during the course of the day. So be intentional and strategic about that approach. Make it work for you. Those are the 3 tips. And if you're still thinking, you know what, I don't know, like People do notice my work. It's fine. I don't need to say anything. Then let me give you 2 examples from sports. If numbers spoke for themselves and told the whole story, every fan would have the same favorite athlete. There wouldn't be a debate over who the all-time great was or who the best player on the team was or who made the greatest impact, because all you would do is go straight to the stats and that would tell the story. But that's not how it works. Here's another example of how it doesn't work the way you think it does. If the numbers and the productivity and the work told the whole story, there would never be a single snub in an all-star game, a Pro Bowl, All-NBA, NHL honors, or any other recognition, because the numbers would tell the story, except they don't. If stats that are published for everybody to see aren't enough to be the differentiator, then your work isn't the differentiator either. And you know what? It never was. You are the differentiator. You add the context. You add the magic. You are it. So don't shy away from talking about it. Don't follow the advice that I got when I got into the industry. Follow a path that allows you to showcase what you bring to the table. And when you use these strategies and they work, or maybe you do run into a roadblock, just let me know. I would love to hear about it. Drop me a line, Jen, Jen, @talksportytome.com.